Yo, what's up guys, and welcome back to another Laptime challenge. Today we are racing on Brands Hatch Indy circuit, which is the short version of the track, and we are in a special one. Today we are in the Gran Turismo Go-Kart 125cc shifter version. The Go-Kart is equipped with sports soft tires, so it might be a bit slippery, I'm not sure yet. And the current world record is a 48.9 that leaves us to beat at least a 50.4. So let's get right into the guide.
So as usual, try to have a good exit out of the last corner to take a lot of speed onto the main straight and into your lap. And the very first brake marker I used is after this white line or in between the white line and the green zone left to the track. Now you give the brake pedal just a slight tap before turning in and immediately back to the power, and when going downhill, flat out and use all the width of the track to not have oversteer. Then over to the left hand side, and depending on your exit of the first corner, you brake either next to this one sign on the left or just before this one. Full into the brakes in a straight line and down to 4th gear immediately, and then turn in down to 3rd. The car will have an oversteer reaction, so do a bit of counter steer before turning in again and gently back to the power. Try to go flat out as soon as possible, opening up the steering to not have power oversteer. Then flat out and over to the right hand side, and the next brake marker is in this darker zone next to the curb on the right hand side. Give it a tap to the brakes and go shortly down to 4th and immediately up to 5th, hit the apex, and as soon as possible flat out back to the power and use all the width of the track to carry momentum and the highest speed possible through that left handle. Then through this S chicane over to the left hand side, the next brake indicator I used is this tarmac exit escape road on the left hand side. So shortly after this one, brake hard while turning in down to 4th gear, counter steer if you have oversteer reaction, and then gently back to the power. And now be careful at this point, because once you're on the top of that hill, if you stay flat out, the car might have some oversteer reaction. So other than that, keep it flat out up to 5th gear and then take the shortest distance to the finish line, so over to the right hand side, and simply keep it flat out. And though it might not make a big difference, let's review the lap once more from chase cam. So getting into your lap, try to carry a high amount of speed into this one, then go over to the left hand side of the track, and shortly after the white line on the tarmac, just tap the brakes slightly, turn in and immediately back to the power using all the width of the track. Over to the left hand side, then around this one sign on the left, brake hard in a straight line down to 4th, and then when turning in down to 3rd and immediately back to the power as soon as possible. Over to the right, in the middle of this dark zone on the right, brake shortly down to 4th gear, immediately up to 5th, and then back to the power using all the width of the track. And try to carry a high amount of speed through the S chicane over to the left, and shortly after this concrete area on the left, hard into the brakes and down to 4th gear, let the kart roll into the corner, then immediately back to the power and try to avoid power oversteer on top of that hill, and then just keep it flat out to the finish line, hopefully getting a gold time and 2 million credits.
And that's already it for this week's Laptime challenge in the Gran Turismo racing kart. This one is rather difficult but a lot of fun, because in the beginning, if you give this one just a little bit too much turn in, you're gone. If the car starts the kart starts oversteering, you're gone. If you brake too hard and turn in while braking, you're gone. If you're too early on the power while turning in, you might be gone. If there is a bump while accelerating, especially this long last right-hander, you are gone. So there's so many opportunities to make a mistake that it has to be at least, or it is indeed fun and a challenging one. So go for this one. I'm really curious to see in the comments what your opinion on this one is like. And as usual, if this guide helped you out, feel free to share, like and subscribe this one. Thank you again for watching. I hope to see you in the next one as well, and bye bye.